Hello, wonderful person. This is Philip. Guess what I just did? Or what I'm in the process of doing? As you can probably guess, I am tuning this piano. As you may not be able to guess, I am tuning it to 432 Hertz. First of all, let me apologize for not telling you this sooner and for actually playing music on this piano before I tuned it to 432. But I just didn't know how important this was. There is a study, came out in 2019, I think, that shows that music played at 432 hertz instead of 440, which we use nowadays, lowers respiration, heart rate, and blood pressure. In other words, it relaxes you better. People overwhelmingly report when they listen to 432 as opposed to 440 hertz music that it just feels better, it makes their mind feel better, it makes their emotions feel better. So, makes you wonder why we even have 440 hertz as a standard to begin with. Well, I tried to find out. The information is not readily accessible. I found something on Wikipedia which already blew my mind. Apparently, Giuseppe Verdi, you may remember him from such brilliant operas as Aida. Was it even him? Anyway, one of the most brilliant composers ever recommended 432 hertz specifically. So why do we use 440? Because there was some uneducated dude in Prussia who was apparently reasonably successful selling silk or manufacturing silk. And as a hobby, built a little tuning apparatus which happened to work on 440. He made the recommendation to use 440, and guess what the world is going with to this day? 440 hertz. This is, of course, this reeks of conspiracy. Who in their right mind would accept some uneducated businessman's advice on how to tune all the instruments in the world as opposed to a brilliant composer's? This is beyond obvious. Now, 440 hertz, if you believe it, I haven't seen specific studies, seems to be the very worst frequency to tune to. In other words, it makes people the angriest, the most frustrated. It just sounds the worst. But we're using it. Yeah. Now, what do we do about it? I can tell you, I've been playing with this for the last couple of days. Yes, it's possible to just change the speed of the audio you listen to. If you have a song that you've downloaded, you can change the pitch and the tempo at the same time by changing the speed. You can also change them separately, but I would never do that. So I just change the speed to get it to 432 hertz. You have to be aware of the fact, though, that not everybody tunes to 440. So you can't just assume that you're changing 440 to 432 and everything will be fine. You have to first analyze the frequencies in the actual piece of music you're trying to transform and then adjust accordingly. John Lennon, for example, used a differently tuned piano for his song Imagine. I believe he used 444 hertz as an A, which is 528 for the C. Anyway, so you have to be careful. Don't just blindly start converting. And most importantly, don't just blindly use apps that play music or that convert it for you into 432 hertz. Because the only ones I've found just assume that the music is tuned to 440. If that should not be the case, which it isn't for lots of Baroque music these days because they're going back to the original instruments. So if the original is not tuned to 440, that 432 app will not actually change it to 432, but to something arbitrary. Anyway, the conspiracy continues. They're using 415 now as the so-called Baroque pitch, even though it was never used or hardly ever used on actual Baroque instruments. They're tuned to something like 420, 421, 422 maybe, very close to 528, except one entire semitone lower. Anyway, the details are a little bit complicated. I'm still researching it. All you need to know is 432 hertz is better than 440. And if you heard it here first, then you heard it here first. Anyway, sorry for this kind of impulsive video, but I just felt like I needed to share immediately. So thanks for watching and have a beautiful day.